Hello, I'm Dr. Brandt Gibson, and today I want to talk to you about the sensory nerve. Sensory nerve are basically long nerves that bring sensation from either the skin or muscle or a sensory organ back to the brain and spinal cord. So, for example, if you were to touch a hot stove, the sensation is carried by a sensory nerve back to the brain and spinal cord. Sensory nerves also typically will have a connection to the motor neurons. So you got a sensory neuron and a motor neuron that causes the reflex arc. So again, if you take that same example and you touch a hot stove, before you even have time to interpret it, the reflex arc sends the signal back to pull the muscle, pull the motor, pull the fingers away through the motor nerve signal. And sensory nerves are activated through the dendrites that are attaching to the area that's sending the sensory signal to the cell body, and then the axon. And input on a sensory neuron can be either physical or chemical. And examples of physical can be things that like sound, touch, heat, or light. And a chemical input will be things like taste or smell. And really what it comes down to is these sensory nerves need to function they need to function in such a way that they actually provide appropriate information to the brain. And these can be carried either by large fiber sensory nerves or small fiber sensory nerves. We will talk about these in future videos, but large fiber sensory nerves are the ones that are the longer, and the small fiber sensory nerves don't have to travel as far to carry the signal. And then the information is transmitted through neurotransmitters between the axon and the dendrites of another cell. So sensory nerves carry sensation. They're basically going from the organ to the brain and spinal cord, as opposed to the motor neurons, for example, that will go from the brain and spinal cord to the muscles to cause them to contract, cause them to do what they're supposed to do. This is Dr. Brandt Gibson, and this is your Neuropathy Nugget Day 361. Sensory nerves and sensory neuropathy happens when these sensory nerves malfunction. This is Dr. Brandt Gibson. Have a great rest of your night, and we will talk to you later.